One thing I find as of late is that the internet is never short on foolishness. And this time, Kotaku really takes the cake. They are never short on foolishness like this. Talking again about Jeff Keighley, still trying to figure out the whole women thing. I think he knows. I think he knows what women are. You might not, Alyssa, but this is no different than other articles you'll find. But Gamescom opening night 2023 had a female co-host and women in double digits. Should be reason for celebrating, right? Because you were chastising him, denigrating him for the last show where he had absolutely no women on stage. Because that was a bad thing. Because there were no women available, maybe? I don't know. Did you find out why? But no, we're going to complain about this one too. Something didn't feel right. Let's explore this article together, ladies and gentlemen. Gamescom opening night live has come and gone. That's pretty good. And though there were a lot more women on Jeff Keighley's shiny stage than during Summer Games Fest, which was 0, which you wrote an article, Kotaku and Polygon and all of them out there chastising Jeff Keighley because no women. Oh well. It certainly didn't feel all that natural, did it? This is why you don't cater to foolishness like this. They will never be satisfied. You have no women on stage. Okay, well, let's work on that. Let's get some more women who are involved in the gaming industry. Let's get them on stage. Let's talk to them. Let's have interviews. Let's have them as co-hosts. It doesn't feel natural. It was forced. You were only doing it because we were complaining. Yes, you are correct. Because they don't want you to complain. They want everyone to come and watch their show, read their articles, play their video games, be entertained by their shows. So they try to cater to the audience. Unfortunately, they've been catering entirely too much to the squeaky wheels. And it's time for the squeaky wheel to be replaced because we're running out of grease. Article continues, it felt instead that Keighley's response to criticism about the lack of women at SGF resulted in his misunderstanding the concept of representation. Well, what? He doesn't know. It's just a different concept of representation than yours. Your concept of representation is that everyone should be BIPOC, female, whatever, instead of absolutely no men on stage, none whatsoever. And that's antithetical to actual representation. What happens if there's no women interested in attending the show, in speaking at the show, in doing an interview? What are you supposed to do? Force them to come stand on stage because they have to appease some screeching eel on Kotaku's website? At just 2 points during the 2-hour-long event, was there, wait, what? At just 2 points during the 2-hour-long event, was there a woman developer or presenter alone on stage? Oh my God. So you're complaining that the women were not alone on stage. Okay. Aside from German co-host Jasmine New-Sibel, who Keighley had there strictly to handle all things not related to game announcements or revealed, CD Projekt Red game designer Yulia Priamak, I hope I pronounced that right, I really do care, appeared an hour and a half into the live show. So now you're keeping track of how long it takes women to be on stage and whether or not they're by themselves or not. You self-absorbed, pretentious, see you next Tuesday. Hour and a half into the show to debut more Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty content, which was absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited for that game. I have a month to play Starfield. I'm going to see about streaming that. I got the early access tomorrow as of recording August 31st. Anyway, get back to the article. I am excited for Starfield. And after her was Lisa Pack, project lead at Environmental Alliance, playing for the planet. Okay. While there's no denying the importance of having 11 different women, you counted the number of women. You have anything better to do? That's a rhetorical question because no, these people do not have anything better to do. They wake up in the morning. I've said this before. I'll say it again. They wake up in the morning and go, what am I going to be offended by today? Let's go track it down. My goodness. 11 different women appear on one of gaming's biggest stages. Opinions vary, especially after there were literally 0 during Summer Game Fest. Who cares? Something still didn't feel quite right. To you, I'm gonna get in. I got something to say about this. Maybe it was because so many of the women on stage were accompanied by men. Oh no, how horrible! Men that they work with, the host of the show, who has every right. It's his show. He deserves to be on stage. He does it. He started it. My understanding, right? He started it on his own, built it up on his own. He doesn't have to have anybody else on stage with him. He can run his mouth all day long. And honestly, gamers are not going to care. They're not going to care if Jeff Keighley's on stage. They want him to shut up and show off more games. They don't care if men are on stage, if women are on stage. They don't care how many men and women are on stage. They want to see the flashy video games. They want to find something to pique their interest, to get the hype train a-rolling, like with Starfield and Cyberpunk. They don't care who's talking to them. Articles like this are nonsense, creating non-traversies out of thin air to justify your own unfortunately sad existence. Maybe because so many of the women on stage were accompanied by men, whether it was actors Gemma Chan, Gemma? I don't think that's Gemma Chan, or Julia Brown, or developers like Sledgehammer Games' Shelby Carlton, or Bandai Namco's Coralia Fanilo. I am so terrible with names. Or perhaps it was because Sibel was trotted out once to make a weird announcement about websites, and then again to bring 4 women on stage in cosplay. What's wrong with that? And I thought the cosplay was pretty badass, too. I wonder how that Gamescom planning meeting went. Did Keighley bring up the barrage of tweets about the lack of women? Probably not. Or point to Ash Parrish's great piece at The Verge, oh, I highly doubt that, and suggest that to combat that, they bring out 4 women in cosplay. Oh, is he aware of how women cosplayers and women in general are traditionally treated at these kinds of events? They're idolized. People in general are treated like crap. Cosplayers are treated like gods and goddesses. They're criticized. They're idolized. Whether it's men or women. Maybe women get the worst of it. I don't know. I haven't gone to conventions. But it was enough for you to make an article about it. Does he know? Probably so, because you've probably thrown it in his face many times before. Or the implications of putting the spotlight on women, but only on them in costume as characters, not as themselves. Oh my goodness. Nothing is good enough for these people. Or maybe things felt weird because Keighley made sure to bring on a few of his favorite gaming men with the kind of pomp and circumstance you'd expect from the guy who Hideo Kojima put in one of his games. You're just trying to find all kinds of ways to badmouth Jeff Keighley. Keighley's excitement is palpable whenever he introduces someone from his roster like Marvel Snap's Ben Brody, Starfield's Todd Howard, or Mortal Kombat's Ed Boon. I'd love for Keighley to add a few women to his all-star team. Well, if they're qualified, I'm sure he will. Because meritocracy is a thing. Prove you have the skills, the knowledge, the personality, and I'm sure he would put them on his team. Or maybe they're not interested. I don't understand why that's such a foreign concept to people. Maybe there are women out there who aren't interested in doing certain things. There are women who just want to go to work, do their programming, make the game, and go home, and not... Maybe they have social anxiety, stage fright. Did you ever think about that, Alyssa? Alyssa? Did I get your name right? Yay, I remembered it! Hot dog. I do remember some things. I'd love for Keighley to add a few women to his all-star teams. Maybe Gamescom 2023 was the start of that. Maybe during this year's Game Awards, he'll bring out CDPR's Primac with as much enthusiasm as he does Boon. Well, maybe he brings out that enthusiasm because he knows Ed Boon and doesn't have any sort of knowledge, relationship, or anything with Primac. Did you ever think about that? Perhaps he talks about, I believe he's had quite a few interactions with Todd Howard. Maybe not so much with the ladies of these other companies. Maybe he's just meeting them for the first time and wants to get them out on stage to give them a chance to showcase their personalities, to show off their games and the work that they've done. Maybe his co-host will do a little more than hand out awards or introduce fluff pieces like Zelda cosplayers. A girl can dream, and you are nothing but a nightmare. Stuff like this is absolute nonsense. You criticize someone for not having any women on stage, and then he makes an effort. Regardless of the reason for that effort, he makes an effort to get more women involved in his shows, because there's nothing wrong with that. If there's women out there that want to be part of gaming, show you know what you're doing. And I'm not talking about just playing video games. I'm talking about developing, marketing video games, programming the AI, all these other things. Actual hands-on work in the inner workings of the video games that we love, and we love to bash when they're bad. It depends on how many of them are involved. Also, it may depend on their availability. Stage fright is a thing. Social anxiety is a thing. But, hey, what do I know? Keep running your mouth. Keep screeching, because that's all you will ever do. Nothing is ever good enough. No matter what Jeff Keighley tries, he will always not achieve the dream that you want him to achieve. But hey, another day, same old thing. Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Hit that little thumbs up button. That's a like. I did it again. Hit me with a subscribe. I do appreciate it all. You have a good one.